Maggie's sending food, but not people, and Kingdom's got its own problems rebuilding after losing its fighters. If Alexandria sends another person out, I could use the help back home.
So in season 10, episode 13 of The Walking Dead, this was Michonne's final episode on the show. Michonne and Virgil on Bloodsworth Island in an abandoned naval base. She shockingly finds Rick Grimes' boots. So this obviously confirms to Michonne that he's absolutely alive. And what this also does, thanks to World Beyond, is show that he did try to return. This completely destroys any theory that he's lost his memory or he was brainwashed. So do you remember this scene in World Beyond where Judith walked in the room and instantly started talking about Silas's feet? I mean, it's the first thing she looked at. It was odd. Disturbing, you might say.
Strong feet. I could see him from here.
I was eating at the time, so I didn't want to see Silas's feet. But what this scene actually did is just screaming in your face when Rick Grimes actually last tried to contact the main group in the main show. Because this shows that the CRM take people's boots when they capture them so that they can't run.
Tell you why they took your boots?
He said it was so I wouldn't run.
So, Rick was captured. Why would he be captured if he was working for them? They took his boots, so that is the actual reason his boots were there. This helps decide where he is right now, because it shows he did try to come back. He didn't completely lose his memory. He might have waited some time, but his attempt at leaving didn't work. And remember, this wouldn't be from where he was saved by them. This actually shows their method of when they capture people. That's what this scene in World Beyond did, apart from show Judith might have some kind of obsession that I don't want to talk about. Now, after Michonne finds Rick's boots, she asks Virgil, what else aren't you telling me? And he takes her to this ship that's also washed up on the island. That's where she found this phone, but before we even talk about the phone, on top of the phone were documents that state where the ship was last docked. New Jersey. Bridges Shipyard. Even if this is just writing from before, when it actually matters to write documents like that, this shows the origin of the ship and where it's actually from and where it was before it washed up at the island. And so the ship came from New Jersey, you know, only the place nearest to the sea from Philadelphia, where Rick is right now. We obviously saw in the Rick Grimes movie teaser trailer the skyline of Philadelphia. So this just adds to the belief that he is in Philadelphia, the place of the CRM that we haven't seen yet, and hopefully, if I'm right, the darkest place too. So with New Jersey being the latest written place, we can assume just from that alone that this is where the ship is from, and it just so happens to be that close to Philadelphia, where I've always thought since that teaser that's where Rick is. Not to underestimate the geographical scale of it, I'm from a much smaller place, and to me this looks like a bike ride, but I know it's a big fuck. And then of course there's the actual phone. Now what I love about this is before we even talk about the sketch on it, it's a phone. It's going to turn on, so once she finds a way to charge it, guarantee there's going to be incriminating evidence of the CRM and ways to get there and escape it. That's why he's actually got this phone in the first place. It's got pictures on it of what they actually do, darker from what World Beyond even showed. Maybe some pictures of Rick, clues of where he is and how to get out of there. So from this clue, there's more clues about to come from it whenever we next see Michonne. Once she charges it or turns it on somehow, she's going to find more clues within this clue. Then of course the actual sketch on the phone, it shows an older Michonne and a much older Judith. So whoever drew this sketch has seen them older. Judith especially looked a lot different since Rick left. Now remember, I know it's out of place that there would be a phone there, but the reason someone would have this is because it's likely got incriminating information of the CRM all over it, and that's why it wasn't conveniently drawn on a piece of paper. It was done on the phone for convenience, and because they were in a rush. Now, do I believe Rick did this? No, actually, because this was a message for Rick. Of course, you can see Rick on the top, and in Japanese, it says believe a little longer. So here's what I think this is. This is a message to Rick. Rick has described to this person what his family looked like, Michonne and Judith. Rick wasn't able to, but this person has managed to sneak out and see those two people and draw them on this phone to then later show to Rick. And in Japanese said believe a little longer, you will see them soon, because he didn't think he'd ever get a way out. And honestly right now, as we see, he's not got a way out. It's obviously going to be something that we see in the movies that is sentimental. There's no point in saying Rick doesn't know Japanese. They're going to add that he does. It will likely be another inside joke or something that him and another character have, or that they learn Japanese. It's a sentimental thing clearly that we don't yet know of, but this is 100% a message to Rick. This person planned to give this phone to Rick to show them this image and to say believe a little longer, You'll see them soon, basically. You won't always be kept behind by the CRM. And obviously it's sentimental and motivational to show him how they look right now. They're fine. But obviously they were captured. By the time Rick had even seen this, or maybe he hasn't even seen it yet, he was captured. And that's what's unfortunate about it. What this confirms is that he's 100% already tried to get back. He wants to get back. He hasn't lost his memory. He's not going to be a villain now. This is why I think where Rick actually is, not what we saw in World Beyond, is a lot more severe and brutal and dark. I've always said that. It's got to be. To show that these kids can just bamboozle them. He's clearly tried to get back. So, to put it simply, these boots are from where he was captured. This phone definitely has stuff on it, but they've drawn on this to show Rick what they look like to help him. Who did the sketch? Likely a new character in the movies. It could be Judith. She was into art from what we've seen in season 8 and she decorated walls and stuff. I've actually said before it could be Iris in World Beyond. I hope not, but it could be. The white sketches that she did in her nightmares were the same as what we see on here. I just hope that's not the case though. When it comes to Rick and his movies, he's missed out on the Whisperer arc and now the Commonwealth arc, and so I want the movies to be a massive deal. I want them to be the best they can be. They're clearly going to carry on these World Beyond characters in some way, and I just hope they're not. Again, not to knock it, but I just feel like they've planned for these characters to go on with the expectation and faith that everyone's going to love them. But it wasn't amazing. I wouldn't say it was terrible. It just wasn't amazing. I liked season 1. I had high expectations for it. I would defend it, if anything. But season 2 just continued to get worse and worse. And I don't want them in the Rick movies, just straight up I don't. Not because they're awful. I mean, they're not great to watch. But they can keep their iCarly cringe in their own little story. I obviously made fun of it in the trailers that came out and stuff. When it came out, though, season 1 was decent. I was like, okay, season 2, let's go. And it was much worse. Just can't stand those characters. That's what it is. So I guess they can carry on in another CRM show, and I'd still watch that. But when it comes to Rick, don't do it. Please don't put the World Beyond kids in it. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do in today's video. I wanted to put some context, my own thoughts behind these scenes. Obviously, I've explained this before, and I touched on the boots, Jadis feet thing in one of my recent videos. But I wanted to put an actual solid story and context into it, rather than scatter all of that information in different videos. That's why I think his boots are there, and that's why I think this phone is all about. Writing this message for Rick, saying that Michonne and Judith are okay. Rick obviously couldn't get to them in time though, and he was captured again. So let me know what you think down below. Is this actually what happened to them? What do you think of it? When do you think we're next going to see Rick? What else did you notice? Make sure you comment down below and let me know what you think. Press the like button if you enjoyed it. It helps me out and will get this video seen by more people. And if you did, check out this video where I talk about Rick actually being immune. If you don't think that's possible, I think I can change your mind in this video. Go and check that out. Watch this video where I break down the trailer for Better Call Saul Season 6. I talk about the release date and what I think is going to happen in it, and why I inevitably think Jesse and Walter White will appear as a cameo, even be recurring characters in this 6th season. And watch this video, it's edited from my first live stream where I decided to play Daisy properly on the PC for the first time, and it was all live and someone joined my game and pretended that they were Rick Grimes. Go and check it out.
But if anyone gives me hope for how things can turn out, it's you. You know that, right?